Hello and welcome. It's Deb Sherritt here with my podcast, What I Find Funny, where I share with you some experience I've had that has struck me funny in one way or another. Throughout my 58 years, I've done a lot of things and have had the good fortune of being surrounded by some very quirky and quick-witted characters. And it's because of these people and experiences that I'm able to see the funny in just about everything, depending on your version of funny. So for instance, on this episode, I'm going to tell you about the things I've owned for 20 minutes or less. Not funny, you say? Well, hold your judgment until the end, if you will, and indulge me. Example number 1. When I was a little girl of about 5 or 6, my father used to love to go fishing, and in hopes of being able to spend time with my dad, I showed an interest in going fishing with him. So he took me out to the local Canadian Tire and let me pick out my fishing rod. It was a fully pink Barbie fishing rod with Barbie's face plastered all over the reel covering and all up the rod. Not exactly the kind of rod my merchant marine fisherman of a father would have wanted me to pick, I'm sure, but he must have seen the joy in my face and couldn't say no because we left the store with it and drove straight over to his favorite fishing spot. Well, he helped me carefully get it all prepped and set for casting, and I did my best with the worm on the hook bit. I wasn't too squirmed out. Standing beside me, he showed me how to place my finger for steadiness, and then he gently cast his bait beautifully across the watering hole, almost clear to the other side. And now it was my turn. I held my finger just as he'd shown. I turned my body as I prepared to cast, and with the full force of my whole little body, I cast my rod off. The whole rod. Both hands let go, and my brand new, beautiful Barbie fishing rod flew right out of my hands to land about 12 feet away from the bank and proceeded to fall into the depths of the water. Because it was so bright pink, we watched as it made its way down, 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 until the darkness took over. My father didn't attempt to jump in after it, probably figuring it was a done deal. I literally owned that thing for 20 minutes. Example number 2. My parents went to Nashville and bought me a beautiful silver and turquoise ring. Very lovely. I was probably about 8 or 9, a few years older than the Barbie fishing rod, Deb. So they come back from their trip and they give me this beautiful ring, and I'm so thrilled to have it. I put it on straight away and I walk around admiring it on my diminutive hand. It was the first ring I'd been given, and it made me feel so sophisticated. Within a few minutes, I was scurried off to go swimming with my best friend at the local pool. We were walking there, and the whole time I'm going on and on about this ring and holding out my hand to my friend, admiring it and asking her to admire it, and blah, 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 blah. So anyway, we get to the pool, into our change areas, and back then you put all your belongings that you didn't want to take into the pool area with you into a yellow tub that was numbered, and you carried that tub number with you on an elastic band. So I pop off my ring, my shorts and top, put them all into the plastic tub, take the tub number, and wear it on my wrist and hand the tub over to the tub keeper, who manages the comings and goings of all the tubs. I spend my afternoon swimming with my friend, and when we're all done and ready to go home, I hand in my tub number to get my belongings. I found my shorts and my top, but no ring. The ring that had been given to me that very morning, and I had worn for a mere 20 minutes before taking it off and placing it in the tub, was now gone, never to be seen again. Owned and worn for 20 minutes. Example number 3 comes courtesy of Christmas, and this time my honey bunch is adding to this topic. See, I'd purchased him a remote mini helicopter called a Mosquito. At the time, he really didn't want much for Christmas, but I'm all about spoiling at Christmas and wanted to get him something really spoilerific. So I found the Mosquito and I got it for him. It was wrapped and under the tree and ready for a load of Christmas fun after he opened it on Christmas morning. And so the big day arrives, presents are being opened and gasped over, and it comes to Honey Bunch's big little gift. I hand him the very small package, and he looks at me quizzically. Once opened, he's gobsmacked. Immediately, he wants to give it a go and reads a few instructions just to see if he can get the motor going and how it sounds. He gets it all out of its packaging and places on the floor near our open staircase with no risers. So if you miss a step, it's a straight drop to the hard concrete basement floor. There it sits on the floor next to the stairs, no bigger than a dragonfly with tiny, delicate wings. He starts the motor up. The propellers start turning, and it immediately takes off, straight up, then straight down into the staircase and missing the step down onto the concrete floor. Done. Dusted. Literally out of the package for less than 20 minutes. And finally, we get to example number 4, probably my most favorite. You see, during the lockdown, Honey Bunch had become very interested in expanding his cooking abilities. We started watching a lot of Jamie Oliver, who uses olive oil for everything. We found we liked the taste of olive oil and balsamic vinegar as our salad dressing, and Honey Bunch found a very unique oil and vinegar carafe that held the two liquids separately until the very last moment when they met past the tip of the spout. It was absolutely beautiful. The vinegar side was shaped like grapes, and the oil side was apple-bottomed with a long, beautiful neck. We ordered it, and when it arrived, Honey Bunch had purchased a very special oil and vinegar to reside in it. He cleaned it up, dried it up, and carefully filled it up. It was stunning, and when placed on our Lazy Susan in the middle of our kitchen table, it just added that special something. We looked forward to using it at dinner time, which was actually just a few minutes away, so I grabbed the Lazy Susan without clearing the top of it off and turned quickly to place it on the kitchen counter, but my turn was too aggressive, and the oil and vinegar carafe toppled over, off the Lazy Susan and onto the kitchen floor, smashing it into 1,000 pieces of oil and vinegar covered glass, which went all over my kitchen floor. It was in our home for 20 minutes. There were probably dozens of things I've had throughout my whole life that I've loved and cherished. And I've come to realize that it doesn't have to take a lifetime to come to the conclusion of whether or not you care, cherish, or even, dare I say, love something. It only takes a mere 20 minutes, and that's what I find funny. I'm sure you've all had a moment like this. If so, share it with me in the comments section, and be sure to like and follow me, but not in the creepy stalker way. And you find funny where you can, and take care.